Hello, welcome here today to Conny Decorates, and Manny is also here with us. Manny says he thinks it's really great, and we also think it's really great because we have made small, I'll just say Christmas gifts, pickled herbs and herb oil, which we already made in the summer. And I am now also using this a bit as kitchen decor for our tiered stand and have made it a little festive. And if you want to know how this tiered stand Christmas feeling works, just stay tuned because we will show you now. But now let's continue. And here we have the things we need today. I chose olive oil because I want it to be relatively strong and Mediterranean, which is why I decided on the olive oil. Of course, you can use rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, or any other oil, as well as walnut oil, for example, which is also very intense in its own flavor, just like olive oil. And as I said, we like it Mediterranean, so today I have olive oil. Next, I definitely have garlic that we need today, and from our garden I have cut thyme and rosemary. Then I have, what do I still have? Exactly, here for the decoration we need pomegranates. I still had those. I received azaleas this morning, and I think they are really beautiful in such small pots. Then I have some bay leaves here for the oil. Then I have this butternut, which I also find really beautiful. I think I still have 4 of them, and I think that fits quite well today. You can take bottles in a variation. It is important that the bottles are rinsed out well, clean, and also properly dried. Then you can use these bottles. Here we have a small, naturally, it's called a funnel. I couldn't think of it. A funnel, of course, a knife, and this is our decoration base, a tiered stand, which I always have in the kitchen. You can also place spices on it, but for us, it is always very decorative. And today, it will be decorated a bit for Advent. Then I found some small Christmas stickers in a magazine, which I also think are really nice. And over here, we are just going over there, just taken from the shed. I have, as always, the jute fabric. Here I even have some pink pepper over there, a few cones, this red cord, this ribbon in red. I think that's a pretty good combination. Of course, it should smell nice today. I have this potpourri, again, which is also available in the Hof Ulker's online shop. We have oranges in it, coconut stars, cinnamon sticks, and nice ginger. And then I also have these LED real wax candles outside in the shed, also in a kind of red tone. And at the bottom, I now have some moss and a bit of fur. We'll take a look at a few natural materials in a moment, and I would say, let's get started. It is important that the herbs are washed and cleaned, and any leaves that are not good should simply be plucked off a bit. Then you can cut them to length. Here with the long ones, with these glass bottles, with a narrow diameter at the top of the bottle neck, it is advisable to either make the herbs as deep as possible or as long as possible, so that later you can use a skewer or whatever to reach in and take the herbs out. Because it is important that after the olive oil is used up and the herbs are exposed to the air, the herbs definitely need to be removed. So either you make it long enough for easy access to take them out, or you make it relatively deep, so that you can still keep them in the bottle for a good while. So, no air for the herbs. That is very important. I always do it this way. I let the herbs steep for about 2 to 3 weeks, of course, nicely sealed in the jar, and then you can use them wonderfully. I always use it for about 6 months, I would say, just like you use olive oil or oil. After that, it goes rancid and is, of course, no longer edible. Now, I do it this way. I first put my rosemary in nicely, spreading the rosemary well. It's also really nice if you like it a bit spicier. A nice chili pepper is wonderful, but unfortunately, I don't have one. I didn't think of that. Now I'm taking the thyme and I'm putting that in my jars as well. For the garlic, I remove the skin and cut it into small pieces. And now I'm adding them in here as well. Now I take the bay leaves. And I would say I'll just put 3 pieces into this large bottle. I'm not adding them everywhere because I personally haven't tried it with bay leaves yet, so I'm really curious about how it tastes. Now I'll also add 2 pieces into this medium bottle. Just try it out to see how strong or how many herbs you like. It's also super delicious on bread and a really nice oil, just like in the south. Then you can start filling your jars all the way to the top. All nicely filled. Look, we're showing you how it all looks so delicious. I'm already looking forward to 2 or 3 weeks from now when we can open the first ones. Or rather, they will be decorated and then definitely given as gifts. It's still such a small personal touch. And yes, a little bit of cookies, a little bit of oil, that always works. And the first decoration begins. I just take a piece of thread or ribbon or whatever, and I have here 3 sprigs of rosemary. I'm just going to tie them here with the ribbon, and then I go around the neck of the bottle. Then I can secure it nicely here. I go around the top and tie it off. I think it looks really nice when it's a bit sideways. You could cut it off, but I think it looks super natural and fits in beautifully. Now I stick it on, and then I take a really nice star anise, which I can also secure here at the top. I also think that cinnamon sticks and ginger are a great option to decorate the bottles. I find pine wonderful. It smells amazing. Here is a piece of pine branch from our garden, which will now be simply tied here. Here is a coconut star. I will now decorate the others in the same way. I'll grab a few more cinnamon sticks and they will be made pretty now. And now the little stickers, I find them absolutely adorable. They have a really nice retro look, a bit like the wafers from back in the day. I can remember. I think they fit really well here. We have all the thick ones on. Everyone is done. The herbs smell fantastic. It's just wonderful. And the tiered stand is getting a new look. I will first take the tiered stand and see where the bottles fit, because the height doesn't always match perfectly with a tiered stand. I think this middle height is quite good, and we can definitely go up in height. I will place a large bottle on the top on the other side and down here. We can really decorate the small bottles wonderfully. Here I have a small one as well. I always do it in the opposite way. So here I have it on the right. Then I go to the left. Here I have it on the right again. And now we have all the bottles beautifully arranged on the tiered stand. I will keep one large bottle. That fits quite well, and it will be given away anyway. Then we continue. The natapfel must not be missing. By the way, I once lived in Tunis, in Tunisia, let's just say that, also on Djerba. And a pomegranate is an absolute must. It's always a great dessert, and I loved it back then. And I also find that it fits so wonderfully with the Christmas season, and these shades of red and this natural look are perfect. I think it goes well here with our ribbon too. That's why I would like to simply place it here on the tiered stand, and just place it here in the middle and down here like this. A candlelight should not be missing either. Here, of course, a real wax LED candle. And I even think I would like to place the 2 of them on top here, because I can't do much with the planting or the decoration. That means I still have a little bit of space in the middle and lower tiers. And I really like this Buddha nut. It looks really nice here, because it's natural and fits well with the wood, but it also goes perfectly with any other material. Now I'm taking my jute fabric. Last time I used the leftovers from a discount store where the clementines were. I could use it here just as well, and I want to put it into my Buddha nut, my bath nut. I'm going to cut the ends off here, and then I can also fray it a bit if I want. I think that look is really cool. I'm also going to finish the seam here and just crumple it up a lot to make it look a bit more natural. And before I forget, the oil loves cool, dark storage spaces. That reminds me of the jute sack. It makes me think of potatoes. On the other hand, oil also prefers to be stored dark and cool. Please do not forget this. Now I take my aluminum foil here and I will first stick it onto the jute fabric into the udemus. How beautiful the azalea is. I think it's really lovely. I believe it's a wonderful plant, and it was truly lucky to get it today in such a small pot. I'm going to place it up here now. You can now take a little soil, but I will take a bit of moss here and fill it with moss. I will now take a little tree here, break off a bit from the bottom and stop with that for now. Look how pretty it is. I really like it. I was actually considering which pots to use. I initially wanted terracotta, which I also find really beautiful, but I think the butternut fits perfectly. And what's really great is that you can position it really well. It is a bit larger. Let me see if I can find a smaller one or one that has grown differently. And I will just place it down here. Look, just put it in. How cool. I found a half-opened one here and I think it's really beautiful. And I can just place it here perfectly, like this. Funny, the third one looks a bit like a cracker because it is so flat, but it fits wonderfully. And it really is just a Christmas or winter decoration, and I think that's truly fantastic. It's simply something different. And we have filled all the sections here, but I think we should just add a few pine cones or maybe even a few cinnamon sticks. That makes it a bit more festive now, and we will do that right away. And there it was, our Christmas tiered stand with our infused olive oil, with the herbs from our garden. And all the animals here, our furry friends, are chilling out and enjoying the scent. Manny is, of course, back again. He hasn't been in front of the camera for a long time, but today he is back with us. And dear ones, we certainly hope that we were able to inspire you today. Perhaps with a small idea. We would be very happy about that. And especially, of course, for the thumbs up. Your comments, we can't say it often enough. Thank you so very much for that, really, from the bottom of our hearts. And yes, it's almost time, and we are still looking forward to decorating with and for you. I think there is still a table decoration, and yes, I am excited to see you all. And who else? Me too. With all my heart. Until then, dear ones, bye.